Hey gang, it's Todd Nauck. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, we're up to the 17th chapter, part 3 of the Copic color video, as we tackle Jean Grey. Today is Jean Grey day, so we're going to color Jean Grey here with Copic markers. As always, I'll tell you my tips, my tricks, my approach to Copic color, as well as share with you the Copic color codes of each marker that I use. So let's flip the camera around and let's get coloring. Okay, so here we go. Let's just jump right into it. We'll start with the skin tones. So we got the light shade of the E spectrum, starting with the E00 for my base shade. So as with the Wolverine and Nightcrawler videos, our light source is coming from above and a little bit to the left. So I'm keeping in mind the light's coming down this way. So all the shadows will fall on the right-hand side, our right-hand side. So only her face is exposed, so that's the only skin tone we'll need. So this is the E00, as I'd mentioned. Leaving a little bit of the white of the board, as always, for a highlight, or highlight potential, if needed. I'm going to darken up to an E01 now. So we sculpt the planes of the face. Going to bring in a little E000. Just a wee little bit there. And I'm going to bring in some pinks for her nose and maybe a little bit here on her cheeks. So some R20, R20. I like to give a rosy color to the nose and the cheeks. Now let's go ahead and color her lips while we're here in the face. So I'm going to give her some pinkish red lips. So we'll start with a R85. Well, airing a little bit more on the pink side than the red side. It's kind of a darker shade of pink. A little teeny tiny highlight there on her bottom lip. Let's come in with a little bit of a darker shade, a RV95. Just right over here on this side, the opposite side of the light source. And let's move right on to the hair. So I'm going to start a little darker and then work my way to lighter. So I'm going to start with a YR27. It's kind of a brownish orange. Right up there, starting at the base of the head, the root of the hair. It's going to be where the light doesn't hit as much. So we're going to, starting from the root coming out, and then the bangs cut over that way. A little bit here behind the fingers. A little bit over here. The light's not going to hit it because the light's coming down this way, so this hair is tucked in a little harder for the light to get to. A little bit here on the bottom side. Mirror some of that over here. A little bit here as the hair falls behind her back. So let's see. I'm going to use a little bit of red here because Jean Grey's red hair actually oftentimes, at least lately, has had more red in it in the comics. So I'm going to use a little R24 to get a really red shade going before I start to bring in some of the oranges. Going to bring this R24 over that YR27 to kind of help blend it all together, get that smooth transition. Again, leaving the white of the board for the lighter colors and the highlights. Always keeping that in mind. Can always come in with more red if I want, or as needed. So if you're not sure how much white to leave on the board, go ahead and leave a lot, and then you can always eat up some of that white if you've left too much. Okay, so that was the YR24. Now we're going to kick over here to the YR68. A little more true of an orange. Blend this over the two colors I've already laid down, the YR27 and the R24. Going over these colors with the newest color really activates the inks to merge with each other, to blend with each other, to get a nice soft gradation. Okay, and now lastly with a lighter orange, we're going to go with the YR12. Still want to keep little teeny tiny bits of white in the hair for that white highlight that's fallen into her hair, because she's got that Pantene Pro V healthy hair, the sheen to her hair. So leaving that white right there, that's where the light's hitting, and gives that white light highlight right there on the top of the head. Let's go ahead and drop in a little green in her eyes. Would be a good shade of green. This is a pretty small shot, so we're not going to get too detailed with the eyes. Let's go with a little G43. Not too dark, not too light. G43 there. And now let's move on to the costume. Let's start with the blue part first. This is the 1990s era Jean Grey costume. I'm going to use the B04. Use that on Wolverine. Use a lot of this on Nightcrawler, and we're going to use it here on Jean. This is kind of my go-to blue, my traditional superhero blue. I use this a lot for Spider-Man, Superman drawings. Now this is just our base color. I'm going to come in with some other shades to kind of turquoise this out a little bit, because she's not really a superhero like a Superman's shade of blue for this costume. It's kind of more of a turquoise, but erring a little more on the blue side. So this is just kind of the base to get things started. She's got these metal shoulder pads, not unlike Wolverine. So I'm keeping a little white there at the very top, and here, same with the metal gauntlets. But since the light's coming this way, gonna leave some white right there. Leave a little white here on her torso. A little less white as we move down here into the abdomen. Then we got the big belt buckle. And the belt. These are Cyclops' fingers right there. He's got his arm around her. So those are his fingers on her waist. So I want to make sure I leave those for when we color Cyclops in the next video. I'm assuming Cyclops will be the next character I color in the next video. Fairly confident in that. Okay, so that takes care of the base blue. Let's see, which color am I going to use next? Yeah, I'm going to come in with a little bluish green, so it's a BG09. This is kind of almost like a shadow color. So it's giving us kind of that blue-green tint here amidst the blue. So sculpting the shapes, just as we did with Wolverine and Nightcrawler. That's the name of the game, sculpt the shapes with the color. So I like to mix two different colors to get kind of a third color, the way the colors will work together. I'm going to come in with a little BG34. Again, keeping that bluish green aqua sort of look going. Just a bit. want to keep a nice little thin highlight there on the shoulder pad to give it that shiny metal look. Using this bluish, this light shade of blue-green to merge the dark blue-green and the blue. This will help Jean's bluish green, but mostly blue, stand out against the blue of Nightcrawler. And also when she's paired here next to the blue of Cyclops. We didn't want her blues to get lost amidst theirs. I'm going to come in with a little B01. Back to a little bit more of the blue family. This is the same family as the B04. To blend it all together to really pump up the blue aspect of this blue-green. There we go. So this B01 just kind of blends it all together. All right, now for her bodysuit. I'm going to start with a YR23 for her gloves and bodysuit. It's kind of this tannish orange sort of look, sort of color. Again, always keeping in mind where the light's coming from, above and a little bit to the left. And sculpting those shapes. Then her arm is behind Cyclops there. We have her hips here. Let's see, this is her leg. Here behind Nightcrawler. Other leg can't be seen. Well, I guess we'd have a little bit of her leg right there. Okay, so that's got things started. Let's go to the YR12. Same as this is the lightest shade that we'd used in her hair. I'm going to use this here as a darker shade in amidst these this light orange tannish. This gives us a little more color to sculpt with. Deepen some of the shadow, where the shadow areas are going to be. Going to come in with the cool grays here in just a moment. Okay, now let's take care of her belt buckle. So the X-Men belt buckle. So I'll just be some red here. So coming in with the R27. And we're not going to get too fancy with it. Just this one shade will be sufficient for her belt buckle there. All right, now it's time for the cool grays. We're going to go to Cool Gray Town. Going to start with her skin tone. Coming in with a light cool gray, the C1 to start with. Going to work those planes of the face, work the shadows. So starting light because I can always go darker if I need to. And I probably will want to. So that was a C1. I'm going to take this to a C3 to get a nice shadow on the bridge of her nose. Under the eyes there. Maybe a little bit at the chin. Cool. And I just noticed I missed a little part of her mask, her headdress. So there we go. That was the BG09. All right, so let's add some cool gray to her hair. Going to use the C4, cool gray 4. Right there underneath the bangs. Here on this side. All those places that I had mentioned before where I used the YR27. Going to hit that with some C4. Cool gray 4. Not the explosive. A little bit there at the part. A little bit here on the opposite side. I love about the sketch markers that I can get a nice thick to thin line and create some nice shapes, especially when it comes to coloring hair. Let's use this same cool gray 4. Oh, we're just going to use a little bit here. It's a little too dark, but it can drop in the really heavy shadows, like underneath her shoulder pads there. Right here under the breast area, a little bit through the abdomen. A little bit here on this arm, behind Nightcrawler. A little bit here through the abs. A little bit through the hips and legs. Let's power that down to a cool gray 3, a little lighter shade. Feels a little more appropriate for this shade of light orange. So the cool grays, as I mentioned in the Wolverine and Nightcrawler videos, you'll hear me say this a lot, really helps kind of give a nice reality to the shadows. Notice the spot I missed. I want to put a little bit of this B01 in the little light part of her metallic belt. Now for some grays here on the kind of turquoise parts, we're going to go with the cool gray 5, C5. So here in the reflective parts of her armor, her shoulder pads and gauntlets, reflecting the horizon around her. A little bit here underneath the chin. A little bit here underneath the hair, showing how the bangs are flipping over the hair, creating a shadow, hiding that part of her headgear from the light. Here on her chest a little bit. Through the abdomen. A little bit here on the belt. I'm going to take the Uniball Signo white gel pen, put a little tiny highlight right there on the tip of the nose. Just to give it a little bit of life. And there we go, there's Jean Grey. Let's get a little better shot. Let's flip around and we'll sign off for this video. And gang, there we have it. Jean Grey is now added to the team. So it's pretty fun to see the colors starting to come together. We're only 3 videos in. Still have a lot more to do. So next up will be Cyclops. Gang, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're learning something here from my videos. I hope they're a help and a benefit to you. If so, please leave me a thumbs up, maybe leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future art videos. And you can follow me on all my social networks. They're all linked below in the video description. Thanks so much, gang. I look forward to seeing you again. Keep on drawing, keep having fun.